Okay, I'm going to go over in class. I'm going to go over what I went over in class last time. So we're going to open up our Adobe Premiere. My Adobe Premiere is already open. So you see this screen. Mine looks a little different than yours because mine is a newer version. Okay, I'm going to go to New Project. And I see this window here. Okay, now if you remember, you should have created a folder on your desktop, Elements of Art, which is my folders right here. Okay, I have several folders because obviously I've done this demo multiple times. Okay, so I'm going to click on Browse right here, and then I'm going to go to my desktop and look for the Elements of Art folder, okay, which should be right here. Okay, I'm going to put it in the Elements Video just because that's what I'm doing right now, Elements Video. Okay, and then I'm going to change the name to Carrera Steve Elements Video or Elements of Art. Okay, I'm going to push OK. Okay, so now what should happen is my screen should come up, which is my Adobe Premiere. Okay, and if you remember, down here is where I import media. So I can do that by going to File, Import. I could also go click Command I, and then I could also double click here. I'm going to click Command I. Actually, I'm going to go to File, Import, just so you can see it. Okay, so now here are my Elements photos that I should have taken. I should have put on my desktop. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click Shift and then the down arrow, and that's going to select them all, and I'm going to import them all. Okay, so here are my Elements photos that a student took. All right, and so what I'd like to do for this assignment is I would like to add all of these photos to my timeline. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm going to create a timeline here, a sequence with my photos. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the first one. So this one is space. I'm going to click Control and then hold down Control, click on the mouse, and go to New Sequence from Clip. Okay, and then there is my photo here. All right, so you notice that because I created a sequence from the photo, my sequence is right here. Okay, that's the name, and here it is. That's a little bit confusing. So what I can do is click on the word, it turns blue, and then just put Elements Sequence. Okay, so that's an easy way for me to know that that's the sequence for. The other thing you could do is you could just go right off the bat. You can go last name, first name, Elements, Video. Okay, and that will come in handy later when you export the video. So I am putting my, I started with space. Okay, there should be another space here. Here's another one. So now I can just click and drag over. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to color. All right, so I'm just going to color. You can do these in any order that you want. And for this person, he was smart enough to label each of his pictures, which is what you should have done as well. Okay, when I push spacebar, you see that it's scrolling through and going through the different pictures. Okay, so what I'd like to do now is I would like to create a title for each of my elements. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to File, New, Legacy Title. That's the easiest way for me to do it. And when it says title right here, I'm going to just type in the title. So I'm going to first type space and push OK. Okay, so here is my title. It's down here. Okay, but you see that it's overlaid here. It's assuming that you want to write the lettering on top of the video. We're not going to do that right now. What we're going to do is we're going to put it over black. So what I need to do is move my cursor, just click and drag my cursor over black. That way it's easier to see. I double click on my title here and that opens it up. Okay, now yours might look different than mine, but don't worry about that. Once I click on the middle, okay, I'm able to type. Okay, and so you can't see that because of the resolution of my video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase this to, let's say, 500. Okay, and now you should be able to see this. Okay. So there is space. All right. Okay, now you noticed before that I had these, I didn't have these here. So if you don't see any of your tools in your title box, you just have to click on this little button right here and then go to the tools that you need. So tools would be this one right here. Styles would be this one right here. Basically, that is, you need to have these tools available. So when I click on this, push Command A to select it all, now I can center it and then center it vertically, and so it's in the middle. Okay, now I can then go back to my sequence, okay, and I treat my title like any other asset. I can just click and drag here. Okay, now what happens? Space, the word, is just right over my video because, like I said before, it's layered on top. So I could just grab this, I'm click and dragging the video or the pictures, I'm dragging it over, and now I have this. Okay, now obviously this is very boring, but it's giving you the basics of how to use Adobe Premiere. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to do this for every single element. I'm going to have a title, I'm going to have two pictures, a title, two pictures, a title, two pictures. When you're done with that, what you need to do is you need to grab the music that you brought in from the MediaArt share drive. Okay, so I'm going to grab the song that's in my Elements of Art folder. All right, and I'm going to just click and drag it into Adobe Premiere. Okay, once that happens, I can easily just bring this in and you could see the audio right there. Okay, so what I can do once I get to the end is I can trim the audio by clicking on C, cut right where the video ends. So in this case, it would be right here. V, to get my cursor back, delete, and now my music ends at the very end of the video. Okay, now in order to fade this music out, I'm going to go to exponential fade, click and drag it to the end of my music. This is a fade out for the music. Okay, and then to fade out my last video frame, I'm going to go dip, and that's dip to black, and that fades out the final frame. All right. Of course, if you have any questions, you could always ask me. I'm here to help. All right. Thanks.